Hello viewers. I'm not sure if I've ever done a video with Microsoft Flight Sim. I think I'm going to have to turn the sound down a little bit. Bear with me a bit here. General sound. It's still a little bit loud. So anyways, right now we're in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. We're doing a flight over the Vancouver area. And I've been spending a few hours playing around with my controls, stuff like that. Trying to get a little bit more used to the flight yoke that I'm using. And I figured out, what the hell, I might as well record some of this stuff. I don't know if it's going to be interesting content for YouTube or not. It's not what I normally put on my channel. So right now I'm flying the Mooney M20. This is one of the marketplace planes. I kind of like it because it's got the analog gauges, and a lot of the ones that have that in the stock game don't have proper dash lighting on them. I don't know what's up with that. It's the weirdest thing. So right now we're flying over North Vancouver. You can see Vancouver Harbor off on the left there. English Bay off in this direction. Capilano Suspension Bridge directly ahead of us. And I've got all of the point of interest turned on. So that's what all these little markers are. And I think I'm going to have to turn the sound down a little bit more so we can use the external view more. General sound. Okay, that makes it a little bit more usable. We can use the external views more. I'm using a honeycomb yoke and a Thrustmaster throttle and pedals. We got Stanley Park, the Lionsgate Bridge just off on the right. Not a lot of lights in Stanley Park. And it's just after sunset. It's got a very nice interior view on the aircraft. I don't know if it's necessarily one of the most accurately modeled ones or not. It's tending to roll a little bit to the right because I wasn't being particularly careful about balancing the fuel. So I've got almost double or over double the fuel in the right-hand tank as in the left-hand. And I also picked up the Razor Stream Control. It's a like one of these Stream Deck type things where it's got a bunch of programmable buttons on it. But what I like about this is that there's also programmable encoders on it. So that's making it much easier to adjust stuff like zoom on the camera and trimming the aircraft and stuff like that. At some point I wouldn't mind picking up one of the Honeycomb Bravo throttles. But those don't seem to be in stock anywhere, so they're also a relatively pricey item. As you can see, Vancouver at night's relatively quiet here. There's not a lot of road traffic and stuff like that. We'll do a flyover of Vancouver Airport. And then I'll switch it to daytime if you want to see what the graphics look like there. And I am using track IR, which helps a lot for the immersion. You know, especially when you're in the cockpit here, you can just look around with your head a little bit, and you can see stuff like that. Now, the only thing is, if you try to use one of the instruments on there, I've got a button map to actually toggle it off, so I can zoom in and I can use stuff with the mouse without it moving around much.
Approach Pasco 868 Heavy is at 9,900 feet, climbing 11,000 feet. Pasco 868 Heavy approach altimeter 29.9, 2 radar contact. Continue to Liebog.
Then I tend to generally just ignore ATC. I'm not what you'd call a hardcore flight simmer.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect vectors ILS Yankee runway 08 left approach Encore tree 590 Heavy.
And I should be able to set the time to daytime.
Encore tree 590 Heavy. You are 2 miles northwest of Vancouver. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Contact tower on 119.55.
Get a little nicer look at the landscape.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Tower on 119.55 Encore tree 590 Heavy.
So we basically got Richmond here. And I actually used to have to take this highway to work every day. It's pretty weird when you try to find find your house or find where you used to work or where you currently work, stuff like that. The graphics in Flight Sim 2020 are pretty good. And of course I plan on picking up 2024 as soon as it comes out. I believe that's 8 or 9 days. 21st if I remember right. I'm running this on a AMD 7800X3D with a 4070 NVIDIA video card. Actually 4070 Super. And I get pretty good frame rates. This is with everything set to Ultra. Although if I want to try and play it in VR, I've got to cut things down a little bit. One thing I really don't like about the about this version of it is that the trees are all massively too big. There may be a mod to fix that, I'm not sure. But trees in Vancouver don't tend to get all that big. I mean, not 4 or 5 story building tall. There we got the downtown core ahead of us. Falls Creek just under us. Rogers Arena. Vancouver Place, where the ship or cruise ships tend to dock. Once again, Vancouver Harbor. I actually used to go through here fairly frequently because just up ahead on the left-hand side, which is the north shore of Vancouver, I used to have a sailboat dock there. So I'd have to go through Vancouver Harbor to get to Burrard Inlet.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect vectors ILS Yankee runway 08 left approach Pasco 868 heavy.
Ironworkers Memorial Bridge. And then just down there is a marina where I used to have my sailboat docked. So of course I had to get them to lift the rail bridge a few times to go out to this area. Generally though, English Bay is preferable for sailing. It's got pretty consistent winds. And I'm not sure if there's other terrain packs because some of the shoreline type stuff is not particularly well done. They seem to have trouble with like boats and harbors and stuff like that. Frame rate's chugging just a little bit here. Simon Fraser University. It could be because I haven't restarted my computer in a while. And I've been playing with the control settings a lot.
Pasco 868 heavy. You are 17 miles northwest of Vancouver. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Contact tower on 119.55. Maintain 3,000 feet. Tower on 119.55 Pasco 868 heavy.
over New Westminster. That's the Patola Bridge. They're building a replacement for it. And right about there is where I live. So we'll follow the Trans-Canada Highway and we'll do a landing out in Pitt Meadows. And that'll probably be it for this video. Now I am running it in the external view just because it's a little better for sightseeing. I tend to generally fly in the cockpit view though most of the time. Ooh, and it's so much quieter in here.
Pasco 558 Heavy, you are 20 miles northwest.
And Pitt Meadows is not terribly far from where I used to live.
Expect vectors, ILS, Yankee runway 08 left approach. Climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors, ILS, Yankee runway 08 left approach, Pasco 558 Heavy.
Okay, gear down, one notch of flaps. Runway just ahead. Now, one of the things that's pretty cool about this is I also have spoilers in the wings. So if I'm coming in a little too fast, I can just deploy those. I have a bad tendency to misalign with runways. Luckily, I'm not trying to do this in real life.
Romeo Whiskey Oscar, contact Victoria, approach on 132.7. Good day.
Going to 132.7 Romeo Whiskey Oscar. Victoria approach Delta Echo Romeo Whiskey Oscar 300 feet.
Delta Echo Romeo Whiskey Oscar, Victoria approach altimeter 29.9, 2 radar contact, continue.
Alright, well that wasn't the smoothest thing in the world, but it didn't end in a fireball, so we'll call it a win. Kind of a peculiar place to put lights, but whatever. Alright, we'll just assume that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully there's going to be more of the flight sim stuff once the 2024 version comes out. I expect to be flying that thing quite a bit. Alright, till next time, have a good day.